Jerry Meserve, farming in the eastern Washington area, Reardon, Edwall. I've been farming for 45 years, raising wheat and barley, tried canola, primarily wheat and barley and livestock. Washington is known as being predominantly agriculture. We have Boeing and different industries on the coast, but eastern Washington is predominantly agriculture, from orchards to grain farmers to beef livestock, and it's the backbone of the Northwest, I think. Proud to be part of it. It's an honorable profession, and I'd like to think that we're helping feed the world. I've had crop insurance, federal crop insurance now for probably the last 15 years, 10 to 15 years. Prior to that, we tried it a couple of times. The premiums were so high that we didn't feel we could justify it. And we had the subsidies, the government subsidies at that time. So it kind of one offset the other, but since they've stopped the subsidies, direct subsidies, without federal crop insurance, we've had probably 5 claims in the last 15 years, that without the federal crop insurance, I don't think we'd have been farming. I always make the comparison to federal crop insurance when you hear people complain about it, to subsidies, as the people that are complaining are riding public transit, flying there in the airlines, burning oil. All of these are subsidized, but yet the public don't complain about the subsidies on that, but they do complain about the subsidies on their food. And to me, it just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. I'd rather subsidize and know this. The one thing I need is food and water. I don't need to ride a bus, but I do need to eat, and I need to drink. You better subsidize what's important to you. So I don't think we can survive without federal crop insurance. Our farm has been in my wife's family. I kind of married into it for 5 generations, and it makes you feel pretty tied to the land when you go out here working to realize that you're the 5th generation working this ground, and you'd like to see that continue. My son farmed with me for approximately 20 years and got tired of the federal bureaucracy and the ups and the downs in agriculture, the market's highs and lows. So he left it. He went to work for a public transit system in Spokane. But my son-in-law was a mechanic, and he wanted to come back to the farm, him and his boys. He's got 3 boys. And so hopefully this will be carried on for another 2 generations. But the only way I can do that is through guaranteeing that the farmer's going to survive in the hard times. I don't think the farmer wants anything for nothing. We're willing to work it, and we also pay taxes. We're paying our subsidies too. So it's kind of a catch-22. But yet, when you hear people complain about it, it's very irritating. Congress and all of our government officials are willing to subsidize oil, power, everything, public transit, but yet they complain about subsidized agriculture, and they claim they're putting too much money into it. We need this. This has got to survive. Without agriculture, mankind ain't going to survive. And they talk about the environment. We live with the environment. We are the environment. What better place to put your subsidies in than in your food source, and keep it going. Keep it going for generation after generation. It's a necessity. Well, we had 2 freeze-outs back to back. That's been, I can't remember how many years ago now. But without federal crop insurance, we would have been done. And the price was low, and federal crop insurance basically saved the farm at that time. My father-in-law, he helped subsidize to a degree, but he was limited on what he could put back into the farm too. So it had to be a government program that was going to keep us alive, and fortunately it was there. And it was cost effective with the subsidies that we're getting through the government, and the agricultural people realize that and appreciate it, but we still have to have some kind of help. Predominantly, the thing I'd like to see is in our family, it's just keep going on generation after generation. And my family was originally out of Montana, and we had agricultural ties back there. And I've still got family back there to farm, but it's dying out. I'm one of the last ones in my side of the family that really is tied to agriculture. And I'd like to see my grandsons, and maybe possibly great-grandsons, keep this tradition going, keep it alive, and have a natural tie with the land and the love of the land. They talk about environmentalists. The farmers are true environmentalists. We're not out here to rape the land, we're out here to preserve the land. We've been doing it ever since this country was formed. Let us keep doing it. And the only way to do it is to keep alive.